Well, good morning. And today we go ahead from what we have been discussing from yesterday. We have started understanding how routing works in Pega. What exactly are the rules which help us in performing routing? Something which we went over yesterday was understanding how can you route a assignment to a user's work list. We saw a operator which we were working on our application routed one of the assignments to his manager using the routing configuration which was available on the assignment. Perfect. So that's how we saw, and that item got routed to that particular operator's work list. We verified that we logged in with that manager's ID and we saw that the items were available in his work list. Perfect. So the next concept we'll be dealing or discussing about is called as Workbasket or work queue. Workbasket or work queue. Routing to Workbasket is exactly similar to, for example, let us say in your class there are three teams and each team has capability to take work. For example, if you have to clean your grounds, so let us say team A, team B, and team C have been decided, and the task is being assigned to a group. And in that group, for example, for a given day, maybe four people are present in one team. Other team has five. Other team is other. Then the third team also has five. One of them is absent. That is fine. But the task is being assigned to the group. Whoever is available in the group can pick up the task and work on it. Does it make sense? What does a work basket or a work queue mean? Does it help you understand, guys? If you take a like IT application, let us say you are a company who does, you know, who are a recruiting firm. So HR can have multiple teams, right? A HR or can have multiple teams. One team will be just shortlisting resumes. One team will be working on, scheduling interviews. One team will be working on, releasing offer letters. Yes or no? If you just take a look at it, in a normal scenario also, you will be having stuff like that. You don't have to go too far. Just look at any restaurant. If you see, the kitchen department is a different queue, the cleaning department is a different queue, the management who sit on the payment area are a different queue. Yes or no? All are three different. You can treat them as three different work baskets. Of course, there are three different teams also. Yes or no? Like the kitchen team is completely different, the cleaning team is completely different, and the front desk team is completely different. Haven't we seen that, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Exactly similarly in Pega also you can have that work basket concept where you will be assigned, the task will be assigned to a work basket, and from there a user can pick it up. So while we understand that, we also need to know a couple of tables which are very important for us to remember. Any assignment, sorry, I had to open pg admin for, okay, that's how I can go into my database. Perfect. Any uh, assignment or a work object, when it gets routed to a work basket, then it gets a record gets inserted in one of the tables. That table is called as pc underscore assign underscore work basket. We will see what is this. And for work list also it is the same thing. Yesterday we missed that. Let me add that also. We'll see, verify both. A record gets inserted whenever we move something. A record gets inserted into pc assign underscore work list. What table does the record get inserted into when someone routes a assignment to a operator? PC underscore assign underscore work list. What table does the record get inserted into when someone assigns assignment to a work basket? PC underscore assign underscore work basket. Does it make sense? We'll verify that. Don't worry. Okay. Perfect. So now, while we are understanding work basket or work queue, there is another concept called as work group. Work group. What is a work group? Guys, work group. What is a work group, guys? Any idea? Work group is nothing but a team of, a manager, set of a few operators, and a work queue. For example, like we were discussing, uh, let us say the cleaning department in a hotel. The cleaning department will have, let us say, 5 cleaners. Of them, one guy who will be a manager for them. Okay, and then there is a queue for them. In the sense there is a basket where you'll be putting items for them, telling that, hey, this table is, has to be clean, and whoever is available as part of their team goes and takes care of that. Does it make sense, guys? What is a work group? A work group is nothing but, imagine that to be a team. It has a manager, it has set of operators, like, or members who are working under him. It also has a work queue, a basket, you can say, a basket where you are going in, putting all your tasks, and the tasks are being picked up by whoever is available at that particular instance. Very important, guys. We have to understand this very clearly. Work list. Every single individual will have his work list. Each one of you have your work list. So your today's work list is, first thing is listening to my boring lecture could be the first thing you're doing, or maybe brushing your teeth was first. Second thing is listening to this lecture. Third thing is getting along, maybe getting your breakfast. Fourth thing, like that. Each and everyone has a work list of all who are attending right now. Yes or no? It's a task list everyone has. He has a number of tasks for a day. That's an individualistic task. That's what we saw yesterday. Every single person is having a list of items which are sitting with him, which are the stuff which he has to complete individually. Same way, there is something called as work basket. Work basket is something to which a team is entitled to, or a team has a basket. For example, cleaning team has a basket. There you tell, okay, table number 5 needs cleaning, table number 6 needs cleaning, table number 7 needs cleaning. These are the tasks or assignments going and sitting in that basket. Whoever is available in that team or that work group can pick up that task and work on it. Does it make sense? Yes? No? Very important to understand difference between work basket and work group. Work group is a group to which in which you will have a manager, a work basket, and operators or users. Like this picture shows here. See, this is the accounting work group where you have a accounting work basket, a manager, and a operator. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes.
A work group can have multiple work baskets. For example, onboarding. In onboarding, let us say there are two different teams. For example, one is for internal onboarding, one is for external onboarding, two different work baskets. Does it make sense, guys? A work group can be tied to multiple work baskets. Very important to understand what is the difference between work group and work basket. Many people who are experienced, they don't understand this. They don't have understanding of what this is all about. Work list individually, if each one of you have a work list for today, a task list for today, it is individual. Work basket is a basket to which your team is assigned to. Your team is assigned to a work basket in which tasks come and fall. And then the operator can pick that up and he'll be working on them. Same way, there is work group. It's a group to which you belong, your manager belongs, and your work basket also belongs. So these are tied to each other. Let us see how exactly are they tied to each other. We'll understand that also. But very important to understand how they are different from each other. Work group, work list, work basket, or work queue. Work basket is also called as work queue. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So let's go into the system and also try to understand, right? A work group could be like, for example, work group one, if I say it is nothing but a team one, and it may have operator one, comma, operator two, operator three, like that. A manager also, but have a manager and a work basket. Work group two is also exactly similar, something like that. It is also a team, maybe just with two people, let us say. Four and operator five. It's nothing but team of operators. It's a team of operators. Manager is also an operator. He also has operator ID. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Right. So understand it like that. Okay. Now let us see how exactly can we map these in our application. Okay. Let's create a couple of operators. I think yesterday we created a couple of them. Let us see. I have logged into my application. Let me refresh this. Let us define the relationship between the work group and the work basket. Work group, team of operators, also a manager, and a work basket associated with that. How exactly are they connected to each other is what we are trying to understand now. For each operator, every operator should be belonging to a group. Yes or no? Let us see what do we mean when we say that. When I try to open my current operator, let us say I open my operator. Okay. And when I go to the work tab, do I see a work group or a team associated with that particular operator, guys? Yes or no? Just try to open this and see what rule does open. You see that? Every operator is associated with a group, work group. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that work group is associated with a work queue. When I open this work group, I am seeing a work queue here, which is nothing but work basket. Does it make sense? Work basket or work queue. Coming back again, closing everything. Understand this very clearly, very important. Coming back to my operator. Every operator should be part of a work group. Come to your operator, go to the work category and see there is a team associated with that guy. See, they call it team here. When you open it, what it opens actually is a work group. Are we able to see this, guys? Very
Yes.
important. And this work group is associated with the work queue. Default at the rate alpha is a work group. Default at the rate alpha, there is a work queue also. See, when you click on this thing, this opens a work queue or a work basket. Work queue is also called as work basket. And if you see in this work basket, if you see here within the work group, they have specified the work queue. If you see in the work basket, they have specified the work group. You see how they both are linked to each other. Does it make sense, guys? This is something which Pega gave us by default. If you see default at alpha, when we created the application, it gave us this. That is why the name is default at alpha and default at alpha. I feel like sometimes this is confusing. People might not get why is it default at alpha at both the ends, and they won't understand what is the difference between work group and work queue. Let's try to clarify that and differentiate it. Okay. Let's start with saving as our work group. This is the work group we have. Let us save as this, and I don't want this name. I want something I can differentiate. I can call this alpha work group WG. ALFAWG. All I am doing is creating a new work group. Alpha work group. Why? I want to differentiate these guys. Okay. Now, see, it got created. Alpha work group got created. Now, if you see, this work group is associated with this work queue. Does it make sense? Save this work group. Let's also create a new work queue. Let's not have this guy as this thing. Let's also create a work queue. Let's open this. It's already open. Anyways, see, I opened the work queue. Let us save as this guy also. And let me call this something interesting. Alpha work basket or alpha work queue. Right? Does it make sense, guys? Create and open. Now I have a different alpha work basket and a different alpha work queue. Now we'll see how we can tie them to each other. Now when I open it, see, this is my work basket which I created. However, if you see, what is it connected to? What is it mapped to? Which work group is it mapped to? I don't want that. Let me link this to my new work group. Am I able to find my new work group? Yes or no? Perfect. Save this guy. Now you linked your queue to your group. Let us go back and do the same thing on our group. If you see, where is the group mapped to? The new group which you have created. It is mapped to the older default at the rate alpha. Let us map this to our work queue. What is my new work queue? Now, are you guys able to understand how exactly these are linked? That is linked to this and this is linked to that. Make sense, guys? Perfect. See, the work queue is associated or mapped to the alpha work group, and the work group is associated or mapped to alpha work queue. Understood, guys? Perfect. Okay, very good. That's a good understanding. These are like very solid basics which you need to know to understand any applications, work group or work queue configuration. let's go to operator IDs and let's see the manager IDs which we created. So two manager IDs which we created were alpha manager 1, which we created yesterday, and manager 2. So first let's go to the manager 1 and let's modify that to our group. Team is nothing but work group here, yes or no? See, alpha work group. Do we agree, guys?
Yes.
Same thing let us do for the other manager also, alpha work group. Save. Perfect. Now we need to do some routing to understand how exactly work group routing works. Let us do verify first. What do we have? Postgres, expand, verify, and how many records are there in this table, guys? Zero. Right now, zero records are there. It's blank. How many rows are returned here?
0.
Zero. Okay. Let's try to implement something. And yesterday we worked on worklist, right? Let us see what is there in worklist also. Do we see anything from yesterday? What we implemented? Let us figure out that. Are we able to see stuff which we have assigned? Yes or no? See? Most of them which are sitting in the user's worklist are coming here. You can actually filter them based on the operator ID and then you can see which operator has which ones. That is why this is populated. 68 records are returned. That means all the operators and their work lists are coming here. Does it make sense? Customer flow status, see, default at the rate alpha, the work group, right? This is what we modified today. And different assignments, whatever assignment it is pending on, that thing is coming here. Well, what you have to take, the takeaway here is also like the work list. Every time an assignment is routed to a work list, then it gets added to this particular table, PC underscore assign underscore work list. You can filter it based on the operator and you can check if you want. If you filter here, you will see it's not letting me filter. Okay, it's a free tool. I don't think they provide that. That's okay. But the takeaway is every assignment which gets routed to work list, a record is created in PC underscore assign underscore work list. Same thing happens for Workbasket also. Right now, we don't have anything. Yes or no? See, we don't have anything. Zero records are there. Let's try to add some records there. To do that, we need to do some modification. Right now, our workflow or our customer flow is not routing anything to the queue. Let us see how exactly we can implement that. To do that, I want to add an enhancement. I have to link it to a user story. Let us say I want to add the loss details. I want to capture the loss details. For example, if a vehicle has gone through a loss, I want to capture that as part of my flow. Let us say we want to capture that as part of my flow. To do that, maybe I want to capture what type of loss it went through, what is this vehicle type, and then what is the amount. Let us say I want to capture that. Let me open the data designer for this particular work class and capture these attributes. To capture them, I need a data model. In the sense, I need the properties to capture them. Let me open the data designer and add these fields. Add a field for loss type, can be text. I want to also capture the vehicle type. Let me capture that as well. Vehicle type. And let me capture the loss amount, whatever amount it is. Let me capture that. I did. Let me capture the loss amount also. Loss amount. And then let me change this. Loss amount is a currency. Pega provides a data type for that. Let me modify that to currency. Okay, perfect. Submit. So three fields is what we added: loss type, vehicle type, and loss amount. That is good. So now that we have these three fields, save this, and you should be able to see those three fields populating in the section. Okay, three fields got created. Let us create a section as usual to capture this information on the UI. Right click on user interface, create section. I'm capturing the loss details here. I will call this loss section. Okay, create and open. Of course, change this to full section editor to be able to access the palette with all the options. And as usual, change this to inline grid double. Most of the designs which we are doing will be best suited for inline grid double. That is the reason I choose that, and kind of makes it look better on UI. Dynamic layout, and then let me change this to other, and stacked labels aligned to the left. Perfect. Perfect. Let us add the details. What are the details? I have if I expand these properties, I should be able to find those loss type and stuff like that. Okay, I do have a loss type. Come on, hold here and drag it. Done. What else do you have? You have loss amount. Hold here, drag it. Done. Also, I do have vehicle type. Come down, hold here. Done. That's it. My section is ready. Perfect. Of course, where does the section go, guys?
Flow action.
Flow action. Create a flow action. Section, flow action, flow should be your mantra for UI. Loss, FA, loss flow action. Perfect. You don't have to create page or anything because all our the section is in our work class only. I can find that here. Last section. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Save.
Yes.
Perfect. So now save this. We saved it. Now let us add. Right now it is not available anywhere in my flow. We have created the section and a flow action. Now the flow action needs some mapping. Let us open our flow and add an assignment under which we can do this routing. To do this routing, let us add these details under my flow action. Sorry, under my flow. Let me expand my flow. Open the customer flow. We did some modification yesterday where we added the approval to this particular flow, right? We add the approval info to this particular flow. Yes or no? From auto vehicle, this was
Yes.
directly going into approval info. Let us say before approval info, I want to capture the loss details. Let us say before the approval info, I want to capture the loss details. To do that, of course, if a user has to provide some information on UI, what shape does he have to use in the flow? What do you have to use in the flow, guys?
Assignment.
Assignment. Very good. So assignment is a place where user will be performing any input or operation. That means there is something pending with the user. Assignment means something pending with the user. The user has to take some action there. Let me add assignment for loss details. Let me take this connector and link it to this guy. Perfect. And what I will do, just to make it look pretty. Okay, that's fine. No issues. Now let me call this guy. This particular assignment is where I'll be capturing the loss details. I'll call it loss information capture. Right, loss information is getting captured. Right now I'll do this and I'll say submit. And then of course the flow action which will be going from here will be, what will be the flow action, guys?
Last one.
Last flow action. Open this guy. Just give it a name. Loss. But here is where you'll be mapping that. Am I able to find that flow action, guys? Last flow action. Submit. But we didn't route it to any Workbasket or anything yet, right? Let's see how we can add routing to it. Of course, the routing goes under assignment. What is the assignment which we have added? Loss information. I want this loss information to be routed to a Workbasket. Yes or no? That's what we are here to understand. Right now it is being routed to the current operator. Who is the current operator, guys, when I'm running this flow? Admin at the rate
Admin at the
alpha,
rate of.
right? Perfect. So now when I try to expand this here, I will see a option to route it to work queue. Yes or no?
Yes.
Very important. Coming back. Today's topic was understanding what is work queue all about and how what is work group all about. To understand that, we are doing these modifications. For now, let me modify this, show you, and again come back and explain this in much more detail. To route that, I open the loss information assignment, expanded the routing drop down, and then I see there is a work queue option. As soon as I choose work queue, it gives me another drop down or autocomplete where I can choose what is that work queue I want to assign to. Do I see my work queue here, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, I can do this way and I can push whenever the details are updated. For example, when the flow comes here after personal vehicle info, this has to be routed to my work queue, the new alpha work queue which we created. It has to get routed to that, in the sense to that work basket. It has to go and sit in that work basket. Alpha work queues work basket is where we are putting this guy. This particular item is what we are trying to say here. You can do it that way, or there is another way. What you can also do is you can choose custom and you can choose a work queue, and also you can do that. Both are same. Both are same, but Pega has given you this capability. Does it make sense? You can do direct work queue and you can pass it here and choose here. Sometimes you may want to parameterize it depending upon what sort of application you're trying to build. Then you'll choose custom, and then from here to Workbasket, and then you'll be passing that as a parameter. You know, both of them are getting routed to the same queue. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
To Workbasket. Very good. So let us do this, or anything is fine. Let's start with this thing. To work queue. Work queue is nothing but Workbasket. See, when you choose work queue, custom to Workbasket, and then it gives you that. Okay, I have to choose work queue here. See, again, it will be routing to the same thing. Submit. Perfect. Our changes on the UI are done. Now we have to test this guy out. We have to test this guy out. So who are the operators who are assigned to this particular Workbasket, guys?
Manager 1 and 2.
Manager 1 and manager 2. Both the managers are assigned to this Workbasket. So both should be able to see that item when it goes to their Workbasket. For now, let us access that guy and see what does it have. What does he have? I have logged into manager 1. How am I sure? I can check that. Hold on. On Mozilla, I have logged into that particular guy, the manager. Let me go back to Dev Studio, and then let me click on this guy to see if I am on the right operator. See, am I on Alpha Manager 1, guys? Yes, no. And he's mapped to that work group, and the work group is mapped to the work basket or work queue. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? We did this mapping today.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm hoping it is understood. Very important. Perfect. Now let me open the user portal and see if there is anything in his queue. Worklist. Perfect. Do we also see a queue here? He has a worklist, but I want to see if there is a queue. I'm not able to find his queue here. And there is another portal which is called as manager portal. Let us open that and check. Launch case manager portal. This is deprecated. We are not supposed to use this anymore, but just to verify this, let us see. My work list. This is hard. How do we identify the queue? Let us click on dashboard and see what does it have to offer. Okay. When I click on dashboard, I'm able to see the team members and the queue here. Work queues. Right now, I don't see anything here. Urgent work for my team. Okay. These are owner is alpha manager 1. Let us say my team. Okay. We see default. We see these work queues, but not the work queue which we have created. Let us see. Let us route and check and come back and verify. That's okay. Don't need to worry. Let's route and come and verify. Right now, we have not routed anything. Going back to my admin at alpha operator to run this flow and see what does it have to offer. Let me check if I have saved everything. Check out, not in check out. Okay, perfect. Last section. Okay, saved. Okay, everything looks clean. Let's try to see what is it offering us. Run. I want to create a new case. Let us say from a new harness, I am moving into my perform harness where I'll be performing certain operations. Very important concept, guys. Work object, sorry, work list, work basket, and work group. Vishwas, Tamil Nadu, say Madurai. Submit. My first assignment is over, which is customer information. We captured that. Now I am into transaction information assignment. See, transaction, flow action, personal vehicle. I don't have agency code. Let us say submit. This should take us further into personal vehicle information, which is nothing but the next assignment. What is that? This guy. Now when I submit from here, this has to be routed to a work basket, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Work Vans 2022. Sorry. No, let us say submit. I did a mistake. I should have traced it. I wanted to show you something. That's fine, no problem. Let us see if the message is coming. This, the next step of the case has been routed appropriately, is what it tells. In the sense, this work object got routed somewhere, is what it is saying. If you go to the actions and see the history, view history, this will tell you assigned to what? Alpha work queue. See, alpha work queue. This has been assigned to alpha work queue. Let us go and verify from that other operator. Has it even reached here? Let's launch the case manager portal. Approval info, address info, only we only see these three in my team. Let us log off from this guy, go into the other operator and check. Maybe because I had already logged in. Here 2 login. I logged into this guy. All I want to do is verify if there is a work queue associated with this guy and if I am able to get those items here. Let us see. Alpha insurance approvals. Okay. Unified employee. Okay. This is deprecated what it's telling. Let us see what does it have to offer us. Okay. Doesn't have anything to offer. That's fine. Let's click on the user portal. Check. I'm just adding the teams. Teams is nothing but should be the work group. No unlocked toolset versions found. Okay. Should be there. That's kind of crazy. Okay. to user portal. No problem. Let us try to go to the developer studio and verify if there is a item available. Sorry. From here I will launch the user portal. This should give me if there is any item. So right now if you see there is no work basket available from here. I'm not able to see the work basket. See, and this can be changed from here. Let us go to this guy and let me refresh this and click on user portal and add the teams to that. Add an item, teams, save. Perfect. I came back to admin at alpha and now I just added this teams option here. Now this should appear on the user portal. Wherever the user portal is being called, it should appear. Let us go back, log off and log in this into this guy. Or let us see. Let's refresh this and check if it appears. No, it's not appearing. Manager to let's close this guy. Log off and log in. So changes like that will need sometimes you will have to log off and log in. Let me go back into manager one. Log off and logged in. All we want to do is identify. Close this guy. Go to the dev studio and access the user portal. Now I am in alpha manager 1 user portal. Perfect. I came to the user portal. I see the work list. Let me click on teams and see if there is a work list which is popping, a work basket which is popping up here. Okay. See, when I click on that work basket, I'm able to access the work queue. Yes or no? And
Yes.
when I click on this work queue, I should be able to see. See, it is telling there is one task in this thing, but we should be able to access this also, which is kind of unusual. Okay. However, so the idea here is we wanted to see if the task gets routed to the work queue, which is happening here. When I go to the work group and come to the work queue, it is getting routed to the work queue. We should be able to access this particular item from here. Let us see, should be an option. I think the entire UI has changed for 8.7. Looks like something is new here. No issues. So coming back to my admin at alpha and recapturing what we have discussed so far. So we wanted to understand, okay, one more way we can identify that is we can go and check in our database. Let me run this query in the database and see if my item has come here. Has my item reached my work basket, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? See, assign hyphen work basket.
Yes.
Very important. See, loss information. The assignment number is 5. This assignment has come and is sitting inside my work basket. Does it make sense, guys? And now we can make because we haven't enabled that. That's why we are not seeing that on the UI. But the whoever is the user, for example, Alpha Manager 1 or Manager 2, can pick up this task and they can click and start working on that and make it proceed further. So what we discussed today was, we understood what is a work basket all about. Work basket is nothing but a basket where all the tasks come and sit for a given work group. The group can be anyone. We took the example of a hotel where you have different groups: the kitchen group, the cleaning group, and the front desk group. Whatever task you have for cleaning group, you will be putting that in their basket, and anyone who is free from that group is going to pick up those items and he'll be working on that. But you can route the tasks like that in Pega, and they are linked to each other. How are they linked to each other? A work basket or a work group is a work basket or a work queue is linked to the work group, and the operator is linked to the work group. Yes or no? We solved that mystery. What did we do? We came to our application and we verified that our operator is having a mapping to the work group. Yes or no?
Yes.
See, admin at alpha is my operator who has a mapping to the work group. This team is nothing but a work group which is default at alpha, which got created when we created the application. We used this and then we created the new work group which is called alpha work group. It's a different work group from default at alpha. We created a new work group which is mapped to alpha work queue, which is a new work queue. So from the current operators, when the current operator is working on a given flow, he can route that work object from his work group to a different work group. He belongs to a default at the rate alpha work group. However, he assigned this work object as part of this workflow to alpha work queue. Yes or no? It's a completely different work queue. He is not associated with this work queue. This is a work queue. This, for example, this is like the front desk team was working on one of the cases, and then he assigned this particular task because this assignment was to be completed by the cleaning team, and cleaning team have their different work queue. He has assigned it to the cleaning team work queue. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes. Yes.
And we are able to identify that when we go back to this particular guy who is alpha manager 1, and then we expand their teams, and we are able to see that that particular item is appearing here. Yes or no? In this work group, I do have access to those work queue, and I'm able to see that here. Also, what I can do from here, I can look for that particular case. I can look for that case and I can modify that. For example, search for all pending work status. Anything else does it have? Nope, this won't work, I guess. So if I come back here and I click on this particular guy and I click here, I should be able to see that work object on top. See, 12.5. Today we created this guy. This is the guy which got routed. Open that work object and you'll be able to see that. This is the same one. Yes, Madurai. Loss info. If you see history, see, let us see if we can
Do we
modify.
do we need to check in the flow?
Yes, we need to. That is why you're getting this error though. The flow has to be checked in. That's right. Let us check in this. Check in. Happens when you try to, let us see if we are able to access it from here first. Nope. Let's go back to this guy, close this guy, relaunch, go. You see, this guy is able to modify now. He is able to provide the loss type. Let us say the loss is physical. Loss is, let us say, $1,000. Vehicle type is front wheel drive. Submit. See? Now he also gets approval and reject. Why? Because he's a manager, right? Ideally, what are we doing? If you see in the workflow, we are routing it to manager one. Yes or no?
Yes.
See, approve, submit. And he can access this also. Why? Because he is part of that access group. He can access the other screens also. Does it make sense, guys? How exactly work group routing can happen through assignment? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now, if you close this and refresh and open, you will see that the new operator has operated on that particular task. Refresh this and go to view history. You see, it was here where when you moved it to the work queue. After that, who completed it? Alpha Manager 1 completed the last flow action. Also, he provided the approval for this particular work object. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes.
Okay, this is what was planned for today. A clear understanding of work list, work queue, and work group is what was intended to, convey. I hope that has been understood. If you have any questions, you can, you know, ask me here. If the time is running out, you guys can, of course, reach out to me personally, and I'll be happy to clarify any doubts if you have. Okay.
Thanks.
I wish you